by
Comic Watch.
We are your hosts, Mickey,
Luke. Eli.
Alright, and this week's movie,
Avengers Endgame.
So, well, first of all, how much do you guys like it?
10%.
Hold up.
10%?
On a rate from 1 to 10, over 9,000.
Over
That's
9,000?
what I meant.
Maybe we loved it 3,000.
That's
Spoilers.
Oh, speaking of,
yeah, spoiler.
there will be spoilers in this video.
So if you don't want spoilers, stop watching.
Stop watching now.
Why'd you even click on this video?
Yeah, why'd you? Shouldn't have clicked on it. Alright, so, first up, let's talk about Tony and Steve. Have y'all forgotten? When's the last time they actually saw each other before this movie?
Since,
Captain America 3 Civil War, right? So,
yeah.
they never saw each other in Infinity War, so they never had that scene where they made up. Did they make up in this movie? That's right. Mostly they did. They had that one moment outside of Tony's house where they basically, I guess it was Avengers headquarters where Tony said resentment is hard, so he was ready to move past it, right? So they did get past it, but for the first half of the movie, Tony was kind of snippy with Steve, always saying that we lost because you weren't there, because we weren't together, all that good stuff, right? Little did he know, because Steve never explained. Steve fought Thanos too. He just wasn't on the planet. They weren't in the same battle at the same time, right?
Yeah. First 150 minutes.
First 150 minutes. The whole movie is 3 hours. That's 180 minutes. Anyway. Alright. So, speaking of Thanos, what did you guys think of the villain of Thanos? Marvel often gets flack for their villains not being interesting enough. So what did you guys think about Thanos?
He's awesome.
He's awesome. Josh Brolin did a good job. His goal was to cut out half of life in the universe to make room for the second half. He thought the universe was too overpopulated, I guess, right? I thought he did a good job. And this movie, having destroyed half of the universe's population, the Avengers are trying to set the clock back, sort of, right? And Thanos, is of course going to try to stop them again.
Big fat spoiler, I'm getting ready to say something. He dies within the first 10 minutes. And then...
He dies in the first 10 minutes, and then there's the 5-year jump, right?
Yeah.
But that kind of surprised me that he died in the first 10 minutes, but he comes back in a big way. He's still the villain of the whole movie. It's just time travel's involved, so he is back later.
Yeah.
So speaking of, what was the most exciting part of the movie for you?
Probably that.
When the portals opened and all the missing Avengers.
But my favorite part of the portals was when Spider-Man came back.
When Spider-Man came back, my favorite part of the portals, and maybe my favorite line of the movie, was Falcon coming out and saying, "On your left," because he was back. Not to mention, I really thought Cap was about to die in that scene. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But when the portals all started opening and Falcon came out and said, "On your left," that's when you knew that Cap was probably going to be okay. So this is y'all's most exciting scene in the movie?
Yeah.
What about the one you just talked about when Thor decapitated
Thanos? So happy.
So,
even the pun that he said, I went for the head.
Went for the head. That's what in Infinity War he got in the chest. Thanos said you should have gone for the head, right?
Well, technically, if he chopped off his hand, he wouldn't be able to snap.
True, he could have gone for the hand.
Yeah.
Anyway, so exciting scene, decapitation of Thanos. Exciting scene, the portals. My most favorite exciting scene?
Oh, yeah, him grabbing the hammer.
Cap with the hammer. With Mjolnir.
So, yeah, they went back in time went and got Mjolnir,
Yeah.
Thor's old
Meow, meow.
hammer. Mjolnir. Mjolnir. And as seen in Ultron 2, Cap could.
He
was
basically almost moved it in Age of Ultron.
and Thor stopped
Thor
him.
stopped him because he got nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also a fan theory that Cap budged it in Avengers 2, but wouldn't have been worthy because he was holding on to that secret of Winter Soldier killing Iron Man. And now having...
Iron Man's father.
Oh, oops. Yeah, I said Iron Man. Iron Man's father. So now having gone through Civil War, he's got rid of that secret. So now he's worthy. I think he's worthy the whole time. He's picked up a few times in the comic books. Just Thor got nervous and stopped him is what happened in Avengers 2.
It's so weird with the
All right, we talked about the most exciting part.
And the hammer.
What about the saddest part? What do y'all? There's a lot of sad parts in this movie. What do y'all think the saddest part is?
Love you 3000.
At the funeral. Spoiler! Iron Man dies.
And so
Who doesn't know that? This is the biggest movie in the world ever, and
there's definitely going to be spoilers.
who hasn't seen it at this point? Come on, who hasn't seen it that would want to see it?
And
Let's say that.
who hasn't gotten spoilers? Because I got a spoiler after I watched the movie. Thank goodness I already watched the movie.
Oh, okay.
People at school are mean.
Yeah. Well, y'all told everybody how Rogue One ended.
That was me.
That was him.
That was.
So anyway,
Let's not
back
talk
to
about
back to
that.
this one. So
Yeah.
Tony dies. There's the goodbye scene where Rhodey, Peter, and Pepper all say bye to him. That was sad. But you're talking about when his hologram is basically saying bye to his daughter, right?
Yeah.
That was
I
sad.
don't know exactly where she was sitting.
Also-
Is that like her favorite spot on the couch or something?
I
'Cause he was
don't know.
looking.
Tony probably had like an AI hologram that would be able to move to wherever she moved.
And
Probably.
also on the planet that they went to get the Soul Stone, Hawkeye and Black Widow had a little fight to see who
Yeah.
had to sacrifice themselves.
They fought it out.
Yeah, so
And then-
Black Widow dying is another sad part.
Black Widow won the fight, which means she died.
Yeah. All right. So you guys covered all the ones I have written down, except for a couple. Thor with his mom, I thought was sad.
Oh yeah, that was
Because
really sad.
to the current Thor, she's dead, right? And Iron Man with his dad, I thought was sad
Oh, yeah.
because in his current self, his dad's dead, right?
And he said his dad never said "I love you" to him, but whenever he went back in time,
We talked about loving his son.
That was
Yeah.
also a really awkward scene because he hugged him and his dad didn't even know.
Didn't really know who he was, right?
Oh, and the saying that he said his dad always said was because of him. Back in time.
Yeah,
But that doesn't
little
really make sense.
circular logic going on.
That doesn't
The-
really make sense.
The
though.
line, the saying that his dad always told Tony told his dad, and maybe that's what sparked his dad always telling him that as he was growing
But
up.
that didn't make sense.
Now, what was-
'cause
do you remember the line,
time
though?
couldn't have-
No, I know.
That it was something about you can get money as much as you want, but you can never make time, or something like that. The other sad scene that y'all haven't named, that I actually think, I don't know, death of Avengers is sad. But I think the saddest scene was the beginning when Hawkeye's family dusted. He didn't know where they were. He didn't know anything. He didn't know what was happening. I thought that was very sad.
Yeah. He was going to get some. What was it? Put
Hot
stuff
dogs.
up.
They were talking about hot dogs, and I think he was getting that. He's probably getting the arrow out of the.
No, that's what his daughter was doing.
Oh, he was talking. Yeah, he was talking to his wife
Then
about
he
the hot
turned around
dogs.
to say, "What do you want on a hot dog?" to his daughter, and he was like, "Where did you go?"
You
And
can see a
then
little
he turned.
bit. You can see a little bit of dust where she
You can
is.
see a little bit
Then
of
he
dust
turned around, and the rest of his family gone.
right.
That's dead.
So, on a little happier note, what were some of the best lines of the movie?
I need to think about
I am
this.
inevitable.
Thanos said, "I am inevitable." Twice. He said it. He said it
At
at
the
the beginning before they decapitated him,
Phew.
and then he said it at the end. And Tony's response was, "And I am Iron Man."
And
Right?
as I
Oh, yeah.
Fixed everything.
as
We
I've
gotta
al-
explain that.
as I've already said, Thor at
Oh,
the
he
begin-
had yeah. Tony snapped because he had the gauntlet, and that's actually what killed him.
Thor at the beginning also, as I've already said, I went for the head.
You're like, yeah, that's a good line. That's a good line. I have some other lines written down. So, "I love you 3000" is one of the most popular lines from the movie. I don't really know where the daughter got that number. If I'm missing something, I don't know. I think it. "I love you a lot" grows into "I love you 3000." And I like how Tony told Pepper that she only loves her in like 6 to 9.
168,000 something.
No, he
No.
said
168,000 would be more than 3,000.
I know.
He said 6 to 900 range.
Yeah.
But
That's
But
why
there is a fan theory, who knows if it's true or not, that if you add up the running time of every Marvel movie from Phase 1, 2, and 3, counting Far From Home, that it equals, actually I think 3001. So maybe they rounded. But that's a cool theory if it's true.
let's try that.
Another try what?
I don't know.
Somebody did it for us.
Yeah.
You don't need a calculator, don't worry. Another great line, popular line from the movie, is that Captain America had what? No, that's not a line, that was singing.
Roxy.
America's butt.
America's butt, yeah, you better not say the other one. And then, speaking of lines that you can't say, and one of the funniest scenes in the movie is when they were trying to explain time travel, and a couple of them didn't get it, and started naming all the movies that were,
Back
I guess,
to the
wrong.
Future,
And Ant-Man
Bill and Ted.
said, "So Back to the Future is a bunch of BS?"
Wait, I just thought of another one. Whenever Cap was giving them a speech to everyone and said a motivational speech, and Ant-Man said, "He's good at this."
He's really good at the motivational speeches, yeah.
Yeah.
What about Thor said, when they first snapped to bring everybody back, Hulk did that, right?
Right.
Iron Man snapped to get rid of Thanos' people, right?
Right.
Hulk snapped to bring all the missing people back. So Thor wanted to be the one to snap, right?
Right.
And he said, "Don't you know what's running through my veins?" Do you remember what War Machine said?
Right.
Cheese whiz.
Another good line is, since Thor got fat in the 5-year jump, Iron Man called him Lebowski, which
Yeah.
I kind of know what that means.
You know what Lebowski looks like. You haven't watched it yet. And then when it's kind of a recreation of the elevator scene from Captain America 2, Winter Soldier, he said Hail Hydra, right? To get the Hydra agents not to fight him, to kind of get out of there squeaky clean and not everybody really know what's going on. He said Hail Hydra so they could get Loki's scepter without a fight, right? And that's kind of a shout out to what happened in the comics a few years ago, where he turned into a Hydra agent because the long story, but basically some cosmic entity thing recreated him as a Hydra agent instead of the Cap that we all know.
And
Nobody liked that.
I didn't like it.
Nobody.
what was
did.
I about to say? I don't
Um,
Oh yeah, Loki could come back because he got the
ooh, hold on a second.
wait.
Hold on a second.
Don't.
Hold on a second. How about we're still on lines. What about until just now I thought you were a Build-A-Bear.
Oh yeah, Iron Man said that to Rocket.
So Tony, Iron Man always has the good nicknames for people. Like, first Avengers he called Thor
Golden
Point
Eyes.
Break. He called him
Yeah,
Point Break,
yeah.
right? So this one he called him Lebowski, and he called Ant-Man. Do you remember what he called Ant-Man? Thumbelina,
Oh
right?
yeah.
And he called Rocket
Don't.
Build-A-Bear. But you know what I think my favorite line is? And we'll talk, don't get too much into the scene, but I think my favorite line, I don't even know who you are. What was the
Because we're going
response?
to talk about that later.
What was the response? Yeah.
That
we'll,
was awesome.
we'll talk about that
All right.
later.
So a lot of these lines are funny, right? So what is the funniest scene?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Cat fighting cat, and then he
Cat fighting cat was, first of all, a good fight. But I think in this fight, he acknowledged his America's butt, didn't he?
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, I really do have America's butt." I thought, what other funny scenes did y'all remember?
So whenever cat fighting cat, the younger Cap said, "I can do this all day," and
Our Cap said,
our Cap said, "I know."
I know. He's tired of it. Any other funny scenes?
There has to be. Whenever Peter met Valkyrie and said, "Oh, hello, oh my gosh," because
He was like, "Nice to meet you," and then
missiles were coming out.
polite even in the midst of the giant.
Yeah, he's too nice for the superhero thing.
Yeah, even during the giant chaotic battle. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Ant-Man?
Oh.
I kind of thought he would. Well, you had the autograph scene with Hulk, which was kind of funny in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ant-Man, nobody knew who he was, didn't want his autograph.
That's because
He'd been gone for 5 years. Yeah.
And those kids.
And Hulk is sitting there huge and green.
And
They didn't know who Black Widow and Cap were either.
And he's also smart.
You know, so Ant-Man's not like he had a suit on.
Yeah, good point.
Just
but-
bring your suits everywhere, kids.
But speaking of Ant-Man, the confusion on the time travel understanding was funny with him.
Yeah.
And also, he was the first one they practiced the time travel on, and they turned him into a what?
Baby,
Oh.
an old man.
A baby, an old man, a teenager.
And then
one of the lines was whenever he came back to himself, he
And a
said,
kid.
"I think I peed myself. I think my
baby did
the
it.
baby me peed myself, or the old me peed myself,
Or just...
or just me."
Yeah,
He was a kid, too.
he was all kind of. Yeah, because they were doing the time travel wrong. That's why they needed Tony, right?
Yeah.
All right. Here is a hot topic with especially Avengers in general, but definitely the movie Avengers. Who's the strongest?
Oh, Scarlet Witch whenever she got mad.
So
She
in the
is
comic
mad.
books, it's Hulk.
Yeah.
Hulk is the strongest there is. That's his tagline. He is the strongest there is.
What about
And he can get so strong, if he goes like completely enraged, he becomes something called World Breaker Hulk, and he can break a world. Right?
Oh.
He's not quite that in the movies. So in the movies, it's not him. I've always felt it was Thor
Yeah. in the movie.
Until the scene.
until this scene. And a lot of people think that Captain Marvel is now that she's around. But let's talk about her.
Yeah.
I think I still feel that Thor has done more because she's not. This is only her second movie that she's even been in. She wasn't in this one a lot, so we haven't seen some of her feats of strength that she can do. Thor, we've seen a lot of he can do. I still lean to him between the two of them, but in talking about her character is cocky.
Oh.
Yeah. In the movies, not in the comics. Not
She's a
really.
little cocky in the comics, but not
But
like in the movies.
She's like...
Yeah.
Tony is cocky in the comics and cocky in the
And
movies
funny.
too. But yeah, it's
Different.
usually done a little funnier. That being said, when she showed up in Endgame, she was
She
another
thought it was
level.
too easy.
She was another level cocky.
She was
War
getting ready to
Machine.
walk out of the room, and they
Yeah.
said, "Where are you going?" And she said to kill Thanos. And she was going to do it all by herself.
She thought she could do it all by herself, which means she thought she was better than all the Avengers combined. That's the way it played, right?
At the
And
end,
War Machine and Black Widow both had to call her down, right?
Yeah.
the end, she was proof.
Well, that's why I was glad that the real Thanos showed up to fight her at the end. Because the one they fought when Thor decapitated him was weakened from...
He destroyed the stone.
He destroyed the Infinity Stones.
And it like burned his whole body.
He was weakened.
He was messed up.
Weakened, yeah, permanently. And so what they fought then wouldn't have proven to her that
No.
she wouldn't have done it on her own.
She got headbutted and kicked and went
Well, yeah, when she
Across
showed
the
up at the end, she got knocked out of the fight.
Whenever
She got
She was strong. She
She
was
got knocked
fighting
out
him.
of the screen range.
She was fighting him for. Well, first of all, she was the one that had the let's call it the nuclear football, the Infinity Gauntlet. She had it. She's the one that got it knocked out of her hand, got it taken, and then when she tried to take it back, she got knocked
Off
away.
the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever she got hit like 15 miles away. Whenever Captain America got hit, it was only like.
Yeah, but well, in her defense, as far as that goes, that struggle between Thanos and her for the gauntlet was a tough one, to the point that he had to pull, I'm assuming, the Power Stone off the gauntlet, put it on the other hand, punch her with that hand.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, good point.
yeah, he really needed her away from him. That being said, though, I vote this one.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the scene. She says, "You took everything from me." He says, "I don't even know who you are." She says, "You will." And then she proceeded to mess Thanos up.
She almost like ripped him apart until he said, "Fire."
Yeah, he had his giant spaceship open fire on the battlefield, hitting his own soldiers, everything because of her. So I'll be interested to see her in WandaVision and Doctor Strange 2, right? Year after next.
Yeah.
So
Wait, that's coming out.
2021.
Uh,
Let's talk about character changes. You already talked about Fat Thor, right?
yeah.
Who else changed in this movie?
Probably about everybody. Especially
Hawkeye.
Tony at the
Hawkeye he went Ronin for 5 years, which is the darker, grittier, meaner Hawkeye, right?
With a
Yeah, and
Killing people.
Tony
He's
was,
more like Punisher with a blade, right?
Tony was scrawny.
Well, yeah, Tony
Not
was out in
skinny.
at the
space.
very beginning.
Tony was out, not for the second half. He's back to normal. The first half, he was out in space, and
Not even
Definitely
the first half.
scrawny.
The first 10 minutes.
yep.
Yeah, right about the two.
Well, I had it in the first 10 minutes.
What about Hulk? Hulk was different.
Oh.
Yeah, because he mixed the brains of Bruce and the brawn of Hulk.
So in the comics, they did that too.
Yeah, that led to the bad guy.
It did eventually lead to Maestro, kind of, right? But the brain, the professor version of the Hulk is the smart, calm, yet really strong Hulk.
I love how he's trying to act like he was old Hulk and kind of.
They said it was gonna be okay to smash some stuff, and
Yeah.
they were actually in the Battle of New York from Avengers Part
Yeah,
One.
and he was
And
like,
he's like this.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He just knocked over.
So other people changed too. Obviously, yeah, 2 dead ones, right? And there's one other one that's not dead, but he's not going to come back as himself anymore.
Cat.
He
Cap
lived
went.
his life in the 40s. That's
Yep. So
technically they should be able to get Pym particles now that Hank Pym is back. Go back in time with Cap. Bring back.
New Cap and
Technically, with the Pym particles.
well, if they pulled Gamora out of her timeline without affecting anything, they could technically go back and pull Cap again.
like
Repull him.
like right after the battle, they bring him and they're like.
I'm not gonna lie. Their idea of time travel confused me a little bit too. 'Cause
Yeah, everything could happen.
they went back in time and pulled Gamora. So you still have a Gamora. Gamora's no longer dead. She is dead, but they pulled one back to the
They went,
future from before she died.
And she needs
And yet they can pull her without affecting Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2.
That makes
They need-
no sense whatsoever. You affect the past, you affect the future.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
They
So
need to.
as little as I'm understanding that, I would say, well, why can't they just go back in time and pull a Tony and a Steve back to the future? But I'm assuming I'm like Ant-Man and just getting confused. So we'll skip past that part. So old Steve, angry Hawkeye, smart Hulk, fat Thor, dead Tony, dead Natasha, right? And we just said the swapped Gamora. So You have a Gamora.
Yeah, she really is gonna have to catch up on.
Yeah, you got a Gamora that's missed.
A lot.
Really, I guess more than all the other Guardians except for Rocket missed 5 years. So, but she's probably missed 5 years that they know about because there was a scene where Star-Lord tries to caress her cheek and she kicks him because she doesn't remember any of that, right? So anyway, all right. Disjointed mess that we're talking about. When we're talking about scenes, the movie. You've got all the missing people. The Avengers go to restore the people. Can't restore the people because Thanos has already gotten rid of the Infinity Stones, so they kill Thanos, right?
Yes. And then they go back in time.
Ant-Man shows up, so they start talking time travel. They go back in time, get all the stones, get them together. Hulk snaps everybody back. Thanos shows up to kill everybody from this movie before all the other ones show back up. He's wiping the floor with all of them. Everybody else shows up. They fight. Right?
Bottom line, one of the coolest
Tony
Like
gets the stones and snaps Thanos away.
Bottom line, one of the coolest scenes. 3 sets of legs.
Like this.
3 sets of legs. That's what I was going to say. So when
Like this video.
Thor, Iron Man, and Cap walk out, the big 3 of Marvel walk out to fight Thanos. That was a cool scene.
And all you can see is their legs. It's the awesome thing.
Well, let me ask you this before we talk about that battle. The time travel. You think they did end up changing anything?
I don't. The way they
They
said it.
probably did.
Now,
Whenever they.
Hulk promised the. I guess she was the Sorcerer Supreme before for Doctor Strange. Promised
would
that they
know.
wouldn't change anything, right?
Right.
But that
But-
also leads into all.
What about Loki? Do you think Loki fixed himself to where he's not dead?
Yeah, because when they go back in time to get the what's it called? Which stone?
The stone.
One of the
The stone.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, one of the
stone.
stones Loki takes.
Soul Stone, I think.
No, is that blue in the movie?
Oh, the Soul Stone was the one that Hawkeye and Black Widow got, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. One of them.
It was the one that. It was the power.
Power Stone. That's the one Loki had.
No, it's power.
And it was in the cube. In the
The
cube.
Cosmic Cube.
The
Yeah.
cosmic cube, yeah. But
That's where the power
Loki takes
comes.
it, so
And
automatically
disappears.
he can get back.
So that's the question then. In Disney Plus series with Loki that's coming next year, the year after.
Is
Do you
it
think it's
prequel?
Yeah, is it prequel
Or is it the now right
or
now?
is it Loki's
And
back?
they had to
Good now right now.
They also have to do the same thing they're going to have to do with Gamora. They need to catch him up with everything.
Yeah, because he'll be a past Loki if he is a past
And
Loki.
bad guy.
Loki.
Now,
Loki's different.
so they've already said that Black Widow is going to be a prequel, right?
Yeah.
Marvel lies. Marvel often lies. So
Yeah.
When
to
Hulk,
hide spoilers. So Hulk's what?
when
Hulk
Hulk
Hogan.
snaps, he doesn't know.
He
Well,
says he tried to get her back.
He said he tried.
But it doesn't mean she might not know.
She might be back with amnesia. That would be a problem.
Possibly.
That
Possibly.
would be a problem.
And she might still be on the planet with Red Skull.
She might be, yeah, who knows? Possible that she's back. Most likely not. They're saying it's a prequel. Maybe it is a prequel. Who knows?
Marvel
But-
is a lot though.
Hulk did say when he snapped, he tried his best to bring her back, so maybe he was successful and we don't know it yet.
I wonder what they see when they snap in their brains.
Oh, that was my timeline picture. Oops.
Oops.
What about this guy?
Stan Lee in the 70s.
So Stanley's final MCU cameo, right? And for the final MCU cameo, he got to drive off into the sunset with a lady who looks very much like his real life wife would have at the time, and say bye to Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Was he dying at that time or something?
He died probably shortly after filming this, and his wife died 11, 12 months before he passed away. So
He'd go like this out of the car.
peace. That's peace sign.
Yeah, I know what that means.
All right. What? Let's talk about this. This is in the background for a second. What do you think the best MCU fight scene ever. Of any of the
You
movies.
can't put this on us.
Of any movie.
I can't. I don't know.
I like the one you just said. Thor, Iron Man, Cap versus Thanos. I like that one. Can you name any of your favorites?
One of my favorites was Spider-Man in Far From Home. If you haven't watched that,
Far From Home.
Oh,
Perfect.
the illusions of Mysterio where he doesn't know what's happening.
But a lot of movies get it wrong. Or
They got it right.
They got it perfect.
We talked about that in the last movie.
It has got after credits. So stay for the after credits. They're important.
They all have after credits except for this one. So, what other fight scenes? Do y'all remember any? How about the elevator scene?
There's 3 hours. It's
Not this movie. I mean all the MCU movies.
Oh,
How about the elevator scene in Winter Soldier? Cap 2.
awesome.
it was just like this.
That's one of my favorites. Then Cap Civil War, you got the airport scene. That's the one y'all said the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Cap Civil War, you also have Cap and Bucky versus Iron Man, which was really cool but sad to watch at the same time, right? And then another Cap fight in Cap 2 Winter Soldier was Cap versus Winter Soldier.
Question: who's in the Hulkbuster banners right here?
It's just to
I think
show
you're thinking too much about the picture.
Yeah, shut up. Be quiet.
Maybe it's just an empty suit standing beside Banner. He's getting ready to climb in it.
Yeah.
Then why is it?
It's bulky. It stands like that. Maybe.
Yeah. Be quiet.
Yeah. He is in the Hulkbuster at the beginning of the movie.
Anyway, so who's your favorite Avenger?
Oh,
It doesn't have to be one from this picture. It can be some of the ones that were dusted too.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's not really a Avenger.
He has been for like the last 15 years or so.
It's like the biggest one. Him.
Cap is your favorite? I thought Iron Man was your favorite.
No, that's him.
Oh.
No, it's
I can't
Spider-Man,
believe
Iron Man.
I can't believe he kind of sided with Iron Man in Civil War though.
Cap for me, I will say, and Hawkeye's always been one of my favorites too. And that goes for the comic books too. Now in the comic books, Thor hasn't always been one of my favorites. But in the movies, he's definitely one of my absolute favorites. I really like him in the movies.
Can you see the eye color change?
Yeah.
Nice that they kept that. So, Endgame,
Yeah.
biggest movie of all time. Right?
One of.
Well, right now, not counting for inflation, it is the most successful movie of all time.
Oh, seriously? It beat Avatar?
It beat Avatar.
Let's not.
Ooh.
It beat Avatar at least until Avatar 2 comes out.
Avatar 2's coming out?
Avatar, they've got like Avatar 2 through 20 planned or something. Anyway,
What?
at least 2 and 3. So what's next? Hawkeye's getting his own show that
That would be-
maybe is him passing the torch to his daughter. Black Widow's getting a prequel. Wanda is getting WandaVision.
And Vision might be in it.
Vision.
We don't know what's
Yeah.
going to happen.
Then she's going to be in Doctor Strange Part 2.
WandaVision.
Like
I
whenever,
want to see Doctor Strange Part 2.
The
whenever.
one I'm most excited about though, Bucky and Sam. Sam as the new Cap.
Wait, so
It's kind of together.
Dude,
since
Cap-
they're-
since Marvel lies a lot and Cap's awesome, did he go back in time? He had the stone. Did he put the Mind Stone into Vision?
I doubt he's the one that fixed Vision. If anybody's going to fix Vision, it'll be Wanda if it is. Anyway, we liked it,
Yeah.
Yes.
and you said you liked it 10%.
No, I like it 3,000.
3,000. I think you mean 100%. Alright, so we all loved it, and that's this week's movie.
And I hope you like this video 3,000.